the energy of consciousness, the presence of consciousness itself, of life itself. It'll be, and people can sense this already actually. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish whether that is because you've become more aware of your process and of your ability to be aware of presence, or whether it's an actual shift that's happening collectively. But check in with yourself and you'll see that if you compare your experience of your environment now with, say, 15 years ago, you'll notice that you'll have way more experiences of feeling engulfed and bathed in the electricity of presence itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The vividness of presence itself. You feel that this experience we're having right now, and because it's gradual, you might not notice it as much, so you have to look back at how your experience used to be. But you could never ever want to exchange what you have now, the clarity and the vividness of presence that you feel now with your environment, of energy, of awakeness, of aliveness. It's way more than it used to be. Like literally, our civilization is already imbued with greater enlightenment than they ever were before. And this continues to lighten up. Quite literally, we are lit up much more than we used to be, with awakeness, with vibrancy, with exuding energy, with our auras, if you could see them, are actually way brighter and more vivid and more energized right now than they used to be.
So is it that scientists right now are just filled with so much more energy and they're so much more excited and so much more like following their alignment so that they're discovering stuff that, or is it that actually like the energy?
It's both. It's both mandatory because of the environment bumping up its frequency and becoming denser and denser with life and knowledge and intuition and clarity. Because what happens when the density of an environmental energy increases is the boundaries that are placed between two different beings or between lower self and higher self starts to disappear more and more. It starts to become thinner. The veil of forgetfulness starts to become thinner. And so the higher the density of the environment, the less you are able to create those bubble realities and separate yourself from your overall self. So that's why there is way clearer energetic communication. Also right now in comparison to 20 years ago, everybody, regardless of their level of consciousness, is actually way more sensitive to everybody else's energies and everybody else's emotional state. It becomes very hard these days to hide what you're thinking and feeling from anyone else. Whether they're psychic or not doesn't even really matter anymore. Everyone is becoming psychic because of the very fact that the vibration of the environment, of the space-time illusion that we create within our consensus collective consciousness is actually increasing itself to the point where those layers of veiling ourselves from the rest of creation no longer can maintain themselves. Those are part of a lower frequency thing. But there is no walls in force density living. And so transparency and telepathy will be natural at some point to everyone. Everyone will be naturally psychic.